Hi, welcome to our tour of the Great Promenade Show as of November 2020. In this video we will showcase the art installations, or at least what's left of them, from the early 2000s which were put in place to form the Great Promenade Show. I think it's fair to say the word great is often used too liberally, and in this case that's certainly true. To say the art installations are tired is an underestimation. They've lacked maintenance for some years now and nowhere near their former glory. Perhaps one day we'll see them restored or new ones put in their place. Well, we can but hope. There were originally 10 art installations along South Promenade, running from Stargate, which is where the trams start for those who don't know the area, and continuing all the way up to the Sandcastle Water Park. However, due to vandalism, there are now only 9. And if we're honest, given the various states of disrepair, we'd also suggest another can no longer be classed as art. It doesn't really matter in which order you view the installations. There's no specific story linking them all together or any riddle to solve. So go from north to south or south to north, whatever suits really. In our case, however, we begin our journey from the south, and we begin by doing that installation we don't think really counts anymore as art. This one's called The Sound of the Wind Looks Like This. The Sound of the Wind Looks Like This would originally have been quite an impressive display. Flashing lights indicate speed and direction of the wind. The speed of the light spinning around a circle of light posts indicating the speed of the wind, and the colour of the lights indicating the direction. Heading north along Promenade from The Sound of Wind Looks Like This, you reach the next installation, which, whilst could do with a coat of paint, still maintains its arty integrity. The Frankenstein project by Tony STALLAR is an installation inspired by Victorian Blackpool freak shows and is intended to warn of sinister outcomes when tampering with nature. Now, we'll be honest, from what looks like a tank you might find in your loft, we can't see the link, but we confess to not being the most artsy family ever. Next up is one which always makes us want to watch Jaws. Not quite sure why. It's called Waterwings. To be honest, we quite like this one. It's a bit of an optical illusion. Look at it in one direction, it makes no sense whatsoever. Move a little further around and the picture becomes all clear. Moving along has to be one of the least inspiring installations of the lot. Glam Rocks originally did look excellent at night, but now just looks like 3 round lumps of concrete painted white, which, to be fair, actually is what they are. What we particularly don't like about them is the fact they boast the rocks are replicas of pebbles found on Blackpool Beach. Honestly, there are millions of pebbles on Blackpool's beach. You could make the Glam Rocks any size, and if you looked hard enough, you'd find some the right size. So if hours of measuring went into making sure they were scale replicas, it would be just a mental waste of money. Okay, so pretty uninspiring start to the Great Promenade Show given the installations which we've showcased so far. However, the next one is our favourite and definitely the pride of the Great Promenade Show. It's the world's biggest disco ball. It's called They Shoot Horses, Don't They? And is made up of 15,000 mirrored tiles. Funny name for a disco ball, you might say. Well, for your information, it's named after the 1939 film about the dance marathon of the American Depression. Now, what that has to do with Blackpool is anyone's guess, but it does look good. Though, to add, it did used to look a lot better when it actually revolved and had lights on it at night. Alas, that doesn't happen anymore. Next up, an installation called Desire by Chris Knight. This particular installation is inspired by Blackpool's fetish scene and is intended to represent the seductive power of danger. Whilst this piece may look like it could do with a good sandblast and a coat of hammerite, it was installed with the intention of rusting. So we're told anyway. Heading further north, we have a couple of pieces which are as practical as they are arty. The swivelling wind shelters, not much effort went to name of these, but there are a couple of whale tail shaped seating areas which should revolve in the wind to allow shelter. To be honest, they don't revolve much anymore, they're just rock in situ, but they are an eye-catching addition to the promenade and stand at 8 metres tall. Next up, a piece you'll have to use your imagination for. Unfortunately, the display called Life as a Circus was a casualty of vandalism and as such was removed. The installation was a tribute to the entertainment industry and the important role it plays in Blackpool. Just a couple of pillars remain now, but it did once consist of 4 people standing on a horse on each pillar. And last but no means least, our final visit is to the high tide organ. This piece is quite special, as the name suggests. At high tide, this particular piece plays a few notes you can listen to. Described as a musical manifestation of the sea, this piece is powered by the sea and creates some pretty weird, eerie sounds. Definitely worth a visit.